Welcome, I'll be reacting to The Witcher, Season 2, Episode 3. The first part of this video is safe to watch if you haven't read the books or played the games. I will be having a spoiler discussion, however, and will put up a warning before that starts. As always, this is not a market substitute. Please support the original on Netflix. Yes. Clearly some time has passed, but she's still learning. In the books, they tried to make Ciri her own outfit and just failed miserably. It was horrible. And here we have Geralt making his new armor, and it looks amazing. Maybe they're just better at making armor than what we call soft parts in Mandalorian cosplay. Now that I think about it, everyone's kind of team armor or team soft parts.
Hunger makes for good sauce.
Also makes for shitty lunches.
What's the difference between a witcher and a heap of shit?
Well, go on then.
Eventually, the shit will stop smelling.
That joke's old as the conjunction.
Well, you tell me one then, you comedic fuck.
We come here to rest in the winter, and to restore, and to have some fun. Not train till our legs give out.
1 more hour.
Fine, 1 more hour. Then you can hang what's left of me on the medallion tree.
That was an interesting way to do a flashback. I like it, having him still there. She's such a mess, poor thing. Strands of hair loose onto Saya. This is serious.
If we want to keep our people safe, we'll be wise to recognize the enemies in our midst.
The elves are not our enemy.
They've already aligned.
They're about to be.
Proving what many of us have known for centuries. They cannot be trusted. We'll be burying a lot more than 14 mages then.
13.
Yenna.
What an entrance.
You did what you had to do, and I, for one, will always be grateful for your sacrifice.
Do you remember wasting your time battling sacks of straw, Cohen?
Can't say I do.
Oh, she's not ready yet.
What did you do then?
No, don't show her.
Some things are far too scary for little girls.
I'm not little, and I'm not afraid.
It's easy to say.
You will be. The pendulum. It is the pendulum. There we go. Oh, yes. They're doing it for mischievous reasons,
Are you sure about this?
but I think this is what she needed. I mean, part of the purpose of that particular training is getting hit and getting back up. This gown is spectacular. Triss. They brought her hair to the correct color.
Survived.
I love the casting of Triss. After the first initial shock, I actually liked her hair, but seeing it closer to the books, it just warms my heart. Even if it's just for this one episode and she's like, oh, I'm trying something new, and then they go back to the TV show version of the hair. Not having her as a ginger, a marigold, it was just so... what? When I first saw it.
Oh, the water's perfect.
If she's going to tell anyone, it's going to be Triss.
Come on, you two.
She's not willing to show everyone that she's just kind of burned beyond recognition. Oh, Triss, that's why she's not getting in the pool. Oh, I just want to go give her a hug through the screen. And she hasn't told anyone, not even Yen. They won't judge you.
If we allow Bilgefortz to say to take charge of our council, if we allow our power to be diluted by elven blood, then it will be led to ruin.
No, Yennefer, she would never do something like that.
Is that no one is ever what they see.
Well, I mean, that's technically right, but I don't like hearing it from him.
I'm so sorry.
No,
No, I sent you to that gate, and if I'd have known...
no. We were all there to play a part.
We knew we might not survive.
I have to find a new way forward.
I think her line in the books is that she'll never wear a low-necked gown again. Ah. Oh. Ow. Geralt is going to be so mad. The costuming this season is so much better. They've just elevated everything.
You can help us.
That gown is
How?
fire.
The elves know the continent better than any man.
I want a place for our future to begin.
They've touched on it briefly, but elves in this universe, it's very difficult for them to have children. Only the very young can have children at all, and it's difficult even then. And the problem is that the elves that tend to go to war are the young ones. So whenever there's a conflict like this, it means there's a potential that all the childbearing of their race can be wiped out. But at the same time, she's trying to deal with, if you don't stand and fight for your home, then you'll have nowhere for the children to be anyway. So it's this terrible situation that they have to be in.
My condolences.
Oh, what's the hurry, my dear?
What is it with men lurking about this place?
I startled you. So sorry.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Stay calm, girl!
I like how he went from making fun of her to genuinely training her and trying to help once he realized she was serious. Teaching her breathing, things like that. Nicely done, Ciri. That's sheer willpower. Oh, so close.
So close.
You have committed treason against one of our own.
Then you must also be willing to defend it from threats inside these walls!
I think you might be the threat.
You will have to kill the Nilfgaardian prisoner.
Is this Vilgefortz talking or you?
The hero kills the enemy. But you are not a threat because you have lost your magic.
Without it, I'm nothing.
That's not true.
When a Witcher cracks his skull, all we need do is stick him in a cod and fill him with Veritum, Spurge, and Hawthorne. You do not have that luxury. I have known many who wanted to be great fighters in my time. Do you know where they are now?
Gone. The
In
ground.
cemeteries.
What do you think we'll find here?
Ah, the armor he made.
Why does it want me?
Very cool.
Why me?
Uncontrolled magical power. I think you've inherited that power.
She's basically wearing her mother's braid right now, too. It's a good callback. Ah. What? There's always a bigger fish. I'm not sure that's going to work, Ciri. Ah. Can you fit in there? How is he going to get away? Also, how is Yennefer always perfectly dressed? I'm so confused right now.
Nilfgaardian. Kings and mages alike. This is what strength looks like.
Yeah, and you need to talk them out of this. No. He'll cut his bonds. Yeah. Yen.
Come on then.
Why save me?
Don't flatter yourself. I'm saving me.
As always. Warning. Spoilers ahead.
It's a rebellion. Together they burned cities to the ground and sent rivers of innocent blood down the streets of Redania and Temeria.
He's like, here he goes again.
To reclaim power.
That's not true. She was trying to rightly recover her throne.
You weren't there, boy.
No, I'm a historian.
It's interesting that they're bringing Falca into this early. That's Ciri's name when she was in the Rats, right? Does that mean we're getting the Rats this season? I was thinking it would be next season. They were really rushing the story along if we see them now. Or maybe they're just laying the groundwork for later.
If only you were asked to prove your loyalty by beheading a man.
Strikable has spies stationed on the towers outside. If you slip out in the night, you will be caught.
It was good of him to warn her, but they had a really close relationship that they haven't shown yet.
Where's Triss? She was summoned away this morning.
By Geralt? It's unsurprising that Yennefer decided to do that. And obviously we knew that he had to be getting out of there. I just don't know how we're going to get him to the point where in the future he's in the woods. I'm not going to worry about that. It's a long way coming. I'm so excited though because I am now 99% sure that Triss getting summoned away was getting Geralt's letter, and next episode she's going to be showing up to help with the Ciri magic issue. And that's just ideal because we got to see her this episode struggling with her own body image and how she's just been completely burned in this whole area. And so when she gets to Geralt and is just desperate for him to basically show that she is beautiful and wants to be with her because they used to have a thing, thinking that that will magically just make her like herself, I think is the direction that they're going to go with it. And instead she needs to realize that accepting that this is her body now. I also don't think they've talked about how sorceresses and witchers have a particular bond when they're together that's different than being with, say, a normal human. I'm guessing again that they'll cover it in the next episode. We finally got to see Ciri doing a little bit more serious training. I really love Geralt's reaction to it with this, where he kind of saw it as inevitable and foolish, but he's like, if you do that, you'll probably get yourself killed. But, if you're gonna do that, you might as well do it right. Just don't do that. And he knew Ciri would just sneak off and train anyway, so might as well have someone vaguely monitoring it. And that show of, I'm not sure if it was courage or just foolishness on the pendulum. I assume that was the pendulum. It's very similar to what's described in the books. They didn't actually say in the episode, I don't think. She impressed the other witchers enough that now they're helping. So she can pretty much go up to any of them and be like, show me something. And instead of going, oh, what does the pretty princess want now? Let me show you this guard that I know that's come in handy a few times. I like that they brought in the breathing. That's very important in Witcher training. We're starting to get some of the more political storyline going as well. You saw the kings in the background starting to mistrust the mages and that kind of split between the two groups as they go away from being kings and advisors and being two separate power groups. And I think the next step is the rulers starting to get their meetings going to discuss the problem of the mages. It'll be interesting to see how they make those scenes exciting because I'm worried that those can turn into really boring council meetings very easily. I trust the Witcher team But I don't know how they're gonna do it, because in the books they got a little bit dry sometimes during those meetings. To finish off, the costuming of this episode was spectacular. I wanted to go back and rewatch it and pause just to look at gowns. And Yennefer's little off-the-shoulder evening dress that she had on for most of this episode was just, wow. So distracting and just beautiful.